Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hollywood Wargaming, and boy did I set myself up for a busy weekend. Not only did we hit 2,000 subscribers on the 4th of July, but also Atomic Mass Games decided to release some of the more exciting cards leading up to the Kashyyyk release. So now that I'm finished grilling and drinking beer, I can finally check in with you guys and get up to date with our Star Wars Legion news and also announce the winners for our 2K subscriber giveaway, which will be done at the end of this video. So if you are a bolt action player, or if you are a very cynical person who just wants to skip right through to the end of it and get the free stuff, go ahead and skip to the end of this video, as that is when I will be announcing the winners of this prize, who will be determined through the commentpicker.com website, a completely random generator that seems to be pretty reliable for this sort of content. And should you win, please do leave a comment on this video, including an email address that I can reach you at. But again, they will be announced at the end of this video, and in the meantime, we are going to take a look at some of the new Star Wars Legion cards that were revealed, as they will give us a better overview of how characters like Yoda and the Wookiee Warriors and Chewbacca himself are going to interact with our Republic army. However, we did get a few upgrades here that are going to be universal upgrades, and I think they're going to have a pretty strong implication on how the game is going to be played in the future. And first up, with these new cards, we are going to have the Protector training upgrade. And in my previous video, I erroneously stated that this card has to be a command upgrade, and my logic there was that the only shared upgrade slots between the Wookiee Warrior expansion and Yoda were the command upgrade, which of course is on both Yoda and the Wookiee Chieftain. However, I failed to take into consideration that Chewbacca himself is very much likely going to have a training upgrade, and that seems to be the case here, as this card is very much a training upgrade, one that is going to allow characters with the Guardian keyword to cancel critical results alongside with regular hits, which is a 5-point upgrade card that is going to be exhaustible. However, it will automatically recover at the end phase of your turn, which makes this card a once per turn use card. One that is, I don't know, it's a little too situational for me. I think being 5 points and only once per turn use is pretty strict, and I don't really see Guardian being that much of a popular keyword to make use of anyways, aside from Obi-Wan Kenobi. And even on him, I think I would rather take something like Tenacity anyways. But with Magna Guards on the horizon, who we know are going to have that Guardian keyword, this training upgrade may come into more relevance in the near future. But in my opinion, it's a little bit too expensive and a little bit too restrictive to be something worth investing in, which is in stark contrast with something like Situational Awareness, which is, no pun intended, wildly situational, but worthwhile due to its very inexpensive points cost. But before moving on past the Protector upgrade card, let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork here, as it does include Chewbacca and Ahsoka. And while I'm usually not one to start gushing over things like this, saying it's a foresight for the future, Star Wars Legion does have a history of foreshadowing through artwork, and with the recent obsession of multi-faction releases, I could very much see Ahsoka coming out in the near future for both Rebels and Republic, which very much would be popular enough of a unit to the point where it probably won't be able to be bought for 9 months after its initial release. However, after the Protector training upgrade, we do have another training upgrade that's going to be new to the Yoda and Wookiee Warrior expansion, and that is going to be the Into the Fray training upgrade. And for just 4 points, this upgrade is going to allow you to gain 1 Surge token each time an enemy unit within range 1 of you activates. And at just 4 points, in my opinion, this is a pretty fantastic upgrade, especially for any hero or melee-oriented unit who is going to be up close and personal with your opponent. Now, a reliable source of Surge tokens is very valuable, be it offensive or defensive, and we have previously seen a lot more pricey ways in which you can upgrade a unit to get Surge tokens. So at just 4 points, I think this is going to be a very fantastic upgrade, and should you be upgrading a melee unit, you will likely put this right in their second training slot, right after that Tenacity upgrade, which in my opinion is still preferable. But really, at just 4 points, I think this is a fantastic upgrade, and absolutely is going to become a favorite in the hall of melee unit upgrades, or even in those close-range pistol-wielding units like ARC Troopers, and other squads who may be wanting to throw grenades. But after our 2 new training upgrades, we are going to move along to take a look at our new Force upgrades, the first of which is going to be Force Lift. And I find this card to be incredibly interesting, as it is going to allow you to completely move any barricade that's within range 1 of your units and place it wherever you would like. And I think this card has some of the most bizarre implications on a wargame that I have seen throughout my career of playing them. This is going to make those barricades that come in your core starter sets arguably more valuable, but will make this upgrade card a very terrain-based upgrade, which is going to be incredibly situational to the battlefield that you're playing on, and much like grappling hooks and environmental gear, if you're not familiar with the table that you're going to be playing on, or the collection of terrain that's going to go into building the table that you're playing on, you likely won't be going out of your way to put 5 points into this exhaustible card. In many ways, it does have potential to be more powerful than something like Forced Push, which is very commonly used to remove units from hard cover, which in many cases is barricades. But it seems to be that the more people play Legion and get into it, the less they make use of those rudimentary terrain pieces like barricades, as they create a more static, amateur level of board building. It really turns a lot of matches into who can get behind the barricade first, which is a gimmick that feels very oriented towards beginner players, and in my opinion it becomes very unfavorable over time. But here's where I really want to hear from you guys. When you go to a Star Wars Legion tournament or your local hobby shop to play a game, do you see barricades fielded on the tabletop, or are they somewhat frowned upon in favor of less bias and more thematic terrain, such as the STL files from Imperial Terrain, and other things of the like? Personally, I think this is going to further inject more bias into the game surrounding the use of barricades, and we may even start to see things on tournament flyers that say no barricades allowed, as this really is one of those damned upgrades that relates a little bit too much with battlefield terrain, which you have no control over when writing your list. So overall, I'm really not a fan of this card. It is a clever way of making models interact with the terrain on the battlefield, and I do have to give respect for the writers of these rules to having a rule like this that is very clear-cut and dry. And as a more casual player, I would love an upgrade card that allows you to move all pieces of terrain, but that would cause endless arguments over time. And then Star Wars Legion would be operating on a similar tier with Bolt Action, where you have these watery, vapid rules like Reki, who leave a lot of text open to interpretation. So while I do find this card somewhat fascinating in terms of a wargaming meta and how rules interaction works, I don't think it's going to be a very useful card to take on anyone, unless you are the guy who sets up the tabletop every game. But lastly, we are going to have the long-anticipated Burst of Speed card, one that, like I said, has the potential to turn the meta of Star Wars Legion upside down, so long as it's not restricted to light side players or Yoda. And good news for the Imperials, it is not. Any Force user can make use of this upgrade. And I was correct in my prediction of this card being one use, something you will burn through after making use of it. But for just 3 points, you are going to increase your maximum move speed to 3 for just one turn, and then gain 1 immobilized token that you will carry over into the next round. And this upgrade is honestly kind of insane. We're going to have every Force user in the game moving at speed 3 if they need to. And that's really going to cause us to go back and take a look and rethink how we use every Force user in the game. Now, the obvious choice here is to use it on characters like Darth Vader or Emperor Palpatine, who usually suffer from that slow movement speed. But even on characters like General Grievous, who have that awesome 1-pip that has an area of effect attack, are going to greatly benefit from cards like this, especially considering that they're not going to totally suffer from having that immobilized token on them, which is going to make this card a bit harder to use and strategize around on characters like Vader or Palp, as it is going to give them the old concrete shoes on the following turn. But overall, I think this card is probably the most important upgrade that we've seen in a long time that is going to serve as a very dramatic retrofit onto a lot of units that you would previously dismiss. And honestly, I cannot wait to see this card used in list building. I want to know what you guys are going to do with it. So go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below. What unit are you going to turn into Speeder Bike Speed? And how powerful do you think Emperor Palpatine is going to be in the near future? But with those new and exciting upgrade cards out of the way, we are going to move along and take a look at some other cards that were recently leaked, two that I didn't really think warranted their own video, and that is going to be the new Chewbacca card that is going to be a commander for the Republic faction, along with his 1 2-pip command card. And it feels like almost yesterday where I was recording a certain video in which I talked about Chewbacca in the Rebel faction and how we're probably going to see a better version of Chewbacca in the very near future. And well, yeah, I gotta say, the Republic Chewbacca is, of course, better. First of all, I find it very odd that he is a commander and not an operative. And at just 90 points, that is going to make him a pretty affordable commander expansion, though I think he does pale in comparison and utility compared to someone like Clone Captain Rex or the Wookiee Chieftain. However, this new commander, Chewbacca, is going to lose some levels of Guardian, dropping down to just Guardian 2, but in exchange is going to gain the much more useful Reliable 2 keyword, giving him 2 Surge tokens at the beginning of each activation phase. And with Critical 1 and Surge to Hit already included in his profile, that means those 2 Surge tokens are going to go into his defensive capabilities, which makes that Guardian keyword a lot more appealing, and it's just going to flat out increase his overall durability. I think Chewbacca's biggest flaw is going to be the fact that he has no defensive surges, which is going to allow your opponent to chew through that white armor save and his high wound count relatively quickly. And this Reliable 2 keyword is going to make him much more useful regardless of his battlefield role. But after that, we are going to have his singular 2-pip card, which is probably the most humorous card that we've ever seen for any commander in Star Wars Legion. And this card will activate Chewbacca and Yoda only. And more or less, you're going to be putting Yoda onto the back of Chewbacca and having him use Chewbacca's movement speed, while Chewbacca himself gains a red defense die and the deflect keyword. So yeah, basically it's a Wookiee taxi, and also another way to further increase Yoda's movement capabilities. Now, all that being said, I don't think this card is particularly good. Yes, it does make Chewbacca a very awesome Guardian unit all of a sudden, but when you consider the fact that this command card is a 290 point investment, I would say save your points and just go in with Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's overall a ludicrous gimmick, one that I think is more or less just a meme. But with both Chewbacca and those upgrade cards revealed, the only thing yet to be spoiled for this wave is going to be the command cards from that Wookiee Chieftain, which I will probably save for when I do the full in-depth unit review for the Wookiee Warrior expansion. But with no further ado, I am proud to announce that this channel has hit 2,000 subscribers, and I am proud to announce the winners of our first ever giveaway. Okay, so we are on commentpicker.com. for the YouTube channel, and we're going to have our URL for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway up here, and we're going to go ahead and click filter duplicate users for all you cheaters out there, and then we're going to have filter comments based on specific text, and we're going to do Legion first, and if you guys entered your comments appropriately, this should rally you guys up here, and we're going to get the YouTube comments. 124 unique comments, and we're going to go ahead and pick the raffle winner, and it is going to be Caleb Wilson, Star Wars Legion. Looking forward to your future Legion bat reps. Sweet. All right, so Caleb Wilson, go ahead and in the reply to this video section, just go ahead and leave Star Wars Legion and then your email address that I can reach you at. So now we are going to be doing the same thing for bolt action this time. We are going to have filtering duplicate users, and then we are going to have the comments, and we're going to do bolt action. If I can spell it right. We'll get the comments, and then we're going to start the raffle. And we have Commander Gomez. We'll start playing bolt action hopefully soon. Great content. Thank you very much, Commander Gomez. And again, go ahead and leave a comment in the bottom of this video. Get me your email address down there, and we will go ahead and reach out to you and get those models sent out your way. So congratulations to the winners on our 2K giveaway, and thank you all for being supporters of the channel. I find that running this YouTube channel is an incredibly rewarding outlet, one that I hope to continue in the future, as I really did start this channel to fill in a sort of niche that I felt was lacking in the overall community for these war games. And with the response that I have received from this community, it seems that I was correct in that assessment. And I am incredibly proud that 2,000 people out there find my information relatively useful, and that my voice is even somewhat bearable. Seriously, if you've never recorded yourself, go out and do it and listen to yourself talk. It is one of the weirdest grading things ever. I think a lot of people will agree with me on that. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, as I will likely be doing another giveaway when we reach 5,000 followers. And until next time, guys, take care.